Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to another video here. This is going to be a continuation of my Asus Rog Phone 2 kind of routing adventures. This will probably be part 3, so if you could watch the other ones, it'll be handy. So for this one, we finally have a thread for TWRP on XDA. So this one is more legit than the last TWRP video I made where I just found it on some random Telegram channel. So this one works pretty well, at least the latest version. I was actually one of the lads who tested it. So initially with version 1 and 0 the touchscreen didn't work. And so I just sent over like logs and stuff to the developer, and the genius, managed to get it working, which is pretty cool. So what you want to do is actually download the Pi version if you're on Android 9. If you're on Android 10, for some reason, you can download the Android Q version. And you'll also need to download the installer for like whichever one of these you download. So I'm gonna get the Pi version since I'm on Android 9. Now today I'm actually using Linux because my Windows PC is doing Windows stuff, so it's not working at the moment. So if you want like ADB and fastboot stuff to work on Linux, you just install a package. So if you're on Arch, it's pacman s android tools. And if you are on Ubuntu, I think it's the same package, so just apt install Android tools and this should be fine. Now, so go to the folder wherever you downloaded the files. So I have the TWRP zip and then the image here as well. So on your phone, what you want to do is go into security and set the screen lock to none. This will just make it a lot easier to install TWRP. Then make sure you have USB debugging enabled as well. And if everything works, you should have ADB devices and you should see your device. If you see something else, apart from this code, there should be like a pop-up here saying authorize PC, just click yes, and then it should be fine. You should see device here. Then what you want to do is reboot into fastboot. So that is just going to bootloader, ADB reboot bootloader. If you're on Windows, you can just use ADB exe. So it's exactly the same commands. And once you're in here, what you want to do is ADB boot and then the image. So not the zip file. And make sure you do ADB boot, not ADB flash boot, because we don't want to flash this one. Oh yeah, my bad. We don't use ADB, we use fastboot. Now on Linux you might need to use sudo for fastboot, like me. If you're on Windows, just do fastboot exe, don't do anything there. And then just do the image again, like so. Then you should see the phone restarting here. Alright, so now we're in TWRP. So what we need to do is flash a permanent version of the TWRP. And there are kind of two ways to do it. One way is if you go into advanced and then do ADB sideload. And before you do this, make sure that you still have ADB, so ADB devices. And as you can see, we're in recovery, so that's all good. Now for me, if I go into sideload and I do ADB devices, as you can see, I have no permission. If you do have permission, so like if everything is okay for you, you can just do ADB sideload. Sideload and then the installer, so like so. But if I do this, I don't have any permissions, so we will have to do another way. which is ADB. Oh yeah, so before you do that, just cancel out of this, go back, and you should have ADB devices working again. And we do. So now what you actually want to do is upload the file inside to your phone basically. So do ADB push and then the zip file, and we want to push it to the root directory, so just do / there. So right now it's on the phone. Then what we want to do is install it, so ADB shell TWRP install, and then just the file name, which is, you can just copy it from here. So make sure you put the / since that is where it's located on the phone, like so. And now you should see some output on your phone. So this might take some time, like a few minutes or so. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you can actually use the fan that comes with the phone, so you don't have to plug in like directly into the black USB port, USB-C port. You can actually just plug into the fan, and it works pretty well. So I found that interesting. All right, so that's done there. As you can see, it says done installing TWRP, and you're now unrooted. So the next step would actually be to install Magisk. So what you're gonna do is reboot into recovery. If you spell it properly, that's important. Recovery. This will reboot into the permanent TWRP basically. And from here on, we will need to install Magisk. So while that's running, while that's booting up there, I'll have a link to this in the description. It's an XDA page for Magisk, and you just want to download so just download the latest stable. If you don't have Magisk Manager APK, you can download it from here as well. And you can actually just copy this over to your phone. All right, so once we're here, we should be booted into permanent TWRP. So you'll need to install and then install Magisk. Now, if you're connected to since you're connected to your PC, your phone should actually show up. Yes, as you can see there, my phone is showing up. So just copy over the Magisk zip into your, say, downloads folder on your phone. And here we are. Then just like before, just press install, and then Magisk 20.zip, or whichever one is the latest version for you, and then swipe to flash. Now just leave that running there. All right, so now it's done. Now we can actually reboot now. So I'll just show you some cool things with ADB here. So yeah, now since you have like fairly decent TWRP, you can do backups and stuff. So you can do like backup your boot partition, system image, vendor, basically everything. So that way, if something messes up, you can just reinstall TWRP and then restore your system completely. There's names here. I recommend you use encryption, so you just set like a password here. So I'll just set 1234. Then I'll ask you for the password again, 1234. And then when you are restoring, you can just put in the password 1234. So I'll just show you a quick demonstration. I'll just back up the boot image there. So it's going to start backup. Backup done. And so they'll be inside your TWRP, inside your backups. And then I did an original backup, but this is the boot partition that we backed up. So if we disconnect here, unmount, then we can do restore. And as you can see, we have 2 here. This is actually a complete backup down here. So I'm just going to restore the boot image to show you how it's done. You'll need to swipe to restore. And it should have asked you for a password, but I guess it just kept it in memory. So it'll come up with the password there, and then you'll just have to type it in 1, 2, 3, 4. Then once that's done, you could just reboot system. And so now we should have like a root and everything should be working fine. So yeah, the phone booted up there nicely. We can check for root here. And yeah, everything is installed, everything's working. We can do a safety net check. And everything is good. So yeah, now we finally have like a proper trustworthy TWRP. And so yeah, that's about it. This will probably be the last TWRP video I make. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a happy new year, and bye bye.